Good morning, it's Rachel Burke, and thank you for being here for our Yes Zone LinkedIn Live show. It's fantastic to be back here with you today. Today we start a new series, which is the new approach to lead generation. And there are 7 critical steps when it comes to lead generation. And today we're going to be talking about the first and probably one of the most critical steps, which is targeting. So I'm really excited to be here today and to give you a bit of an idea of what we do at SalesSPACE for those of you who don't know us yet. At SalesSPACE, we teach you how to master the art of selling without ever sounding salesy. Every single person who comes to work with us say we need to be the most influential version of myself or ourselves. But please, Rachel, whatever you do not let us sound salesy, because it's everybody's worst nightmare. So we work with thought leaders, small business owners, and industry experts who are craving the skills to be as good as they can be in business to achieve the success that they are truly working so hard to achieve and that they ultimately dream of, because that gives us the lifestyle and the business that we want more than anything. So it's wonderful to have you all here today, and I would love, if you can, let's make this a really interactive session. And if you can actually put into the comments where you are from, then we can share them on the screen as well, help promote you and your business. And also, as we're going through this LinkedIn Live this morning, if you have any questions about any points that I'm making or about targeting or lead conversion, then put them into the comments as well, and we will share that, and I will answer as many as I can. If I miss any, then I will get back to you and I will answer those on LinkedIn for you so that you've got exactly what you're after. But as I said, please pop into comments now where you are listening from, so we can put you up onto the screen as well. And let's have this really interactive together. Okay then, so I'm going to be sharing some slides with you today as well, so that you can get a really good feel and see some visuals about what it takes to be incredibly good at targeting, because sadly, so many small businesses and thought leader with their practices are not anywhere near as good as targeting as they need to be. The big corporates spend millions of dollars on this type of work, and they mostly nail it. But we need to nail it. We can't be left behind and just scrambling for leads and trying our best to move our business forward and not succeeding. We need to see and understand what is happening in the world of lead generation, and how can we make ours so much more effective. So let's have a look now. I'm going to go straight to the first question we get asked all the time, and that is, where do I put myself? Hang on a second. Oh, hang on. I've got to go over here. Okay, fantastic. So the first question we get asked all the time is, what is a rigorous targeting strategy, and why should I pay attention? So the fact is, we all know that leads are scarce. And we also know that prospects are harder to convert than ever before. People are requiring a lot more to say yes to you. And of course, time is precious, and there is no time to waste whatsoever on people who will never buy from you. Now, I don't know about you, but I certainly know that time is of the essence. You know, we've got so many things we're doing every day and every week that if you are wasting time, then you just don't have that much to spare. So I don't know about you, but being efficient and effective with what we do in our business is incredibly important to us. And it all starts with targeting. Because the fact is, the truth about lead generation is this: unless your message is being seen, heard, and felt by exactly the right audience, conversions will be low and you are wasting your precious time and money. Now, this is another fact. You have a choice. You can increase your marketing spend or target exactly the right prospects. So let me allude to a quote now by Abraham Lincoln, which is so incredibly true. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening my axe. Who here does that? I would love to know whether this is something that you're you take really seriously. You do the preparation required to make sure you are speaking exactly to your ideal clients. So please, in the chat, let me know whether or not you are doing that preparation. And I'd also love to know how much targeting work you have already done, and whether you feel like your results are starting to pay off, or you might be just thinking, I need to do it better and it's not exactly working how I need it to work. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one. Professor Frank Alpert, if I go down to this corner now, he has done some brilliant research on targeting. And to quote Professor Alpert, the biggest changer of purchase decisions is feeling targeted. Now, what that means is it's not that we're going to have a target on somebody's back. That's not what we're talking about. Targeting is ensuring you know exactly who your clients are and everything that's important to them, and speaking that language and using images that they love, using music that captures their attention, and making sure that they feel important. So actually, you cannot ever get someone to feel important in your presence unless you know so much about them and speak their language. And no one will ever listen to you unless you make them feel important. Nothing turns people off faster than feeling unimportant. So let's have a look at some other research that I think you'll find really interesting. Okay, so let's have a look at work by Professor Gerald Zaltman from the Harvard Business School. In his latest book, How Customers Think: Essential Insights into the Mind of the Market, he answers two critical questions. Firstly, why do consumers buy one product over another? And the second is, how do you speed up the buying process? Now, I'm sure you, like us, would absolutely love to know that. And the answer is clearly, all science is telling us the same thing: emotions. Now, this image behind this slide here is one of my daughter riding. Now, the thing is, from an emotional point of view, let me tell you, from a brain perspective, I should say, I've got so many photos of her and her horse, I don't need to buy any more. But every time we go to a new event, the new photos come out and I end up buying more and more of them, because it's an emotional buy. I'm highly, obviously I love them both so dearly, and I love watching and looking at new photos and watching them in action. So I can't help. So I've got hundreds of photos and I just keep collecting them. That's because it's such an emotional response for me. And I'm sure you would feel the same thing. We know that we buy things that we have a very big emotional response to. The next question I get asked a lot is, how do I define my ideal client? And this is so important, because if you haven't started with this, then your targeting is going to fall flat very quickly. So let's have a look at the types of things you need to ask yourself when it comes to defining your ideal client. First of all, who are they? And these are the facts and the figures. First of all, you've got, for example, I should say, females aged 35 to 50. They're on a salary of $150,000 and above. They're running their own business for the last 7 years. They turn over $1 million. They've got 3 employees, live 5 kilometres from Sydney CBD, married with 2 children, has a gym membership, and travels with their family at least once a year. So they are the facts and figures. So you need to make sure that you've worked that out. The next thing is what exactly what are they currently experiencing? Give you examples: industry severely disrupted, non-performing team, hit a growth ceiling, numerous customer complaints, unexpected demand, for instance. But the next critical thing you need to ask yourself when you're wanting to define your ideal client is, what are they attracted to? For instance, what travel destinations do they love to go to? What are their food choices? What are their favorite restaurants? Do they love takeaway, sitting home on their couch every night? Or do they like going to fine dining restaurants, or something in between? What is their clothing style? What is obvious, the style that they exude? What are their passions? Is it sport? Is it theatre? Is it reading? Is it planes? There's so many different things. Is it art? What colors do they love? What colors grab their attention? Is it vibrant? Is it more subdued? What colors do you know your target audience are attracted to? What images do they love? And what sort of images do they buy? What do you know grabs their attention from a visual perspective? What films do they love to go and see? What are their favorite films of all time? What films are they looking forward to seeing in the future? What music do they listen to? This is so important as well, because when it comes to targeting, it's not just about the what you're saying. We can also really enhance the targeting experience by utilizing all of these points I've got on the screen at the moment to ensure they are completely mesmerized by your message and by your business and your brand, and they're captured by how important and how great they feel in your presence. I then want you to think about, what do they want in the future? For example, do they want financial freedom? Do they just want a streamlined business model? A team of loyal, talented, highly productive people. More holidays, loads of people say to me. Dollars up, days down, whatever it might be. But there's a dream that people are going for, that they want in the future. We need to know that. So I'm really keen to know, what do you think your audience want in the future? Question 3, how do I speak directly to my defined audience? Now, this is important because now you've done the work to define them. You know what's important to them. But now, how do you speak directly to them? And of course, you need to speak their language, because if you are not speaking their language, let me tell you, you are falling on deaf ears, and they want nothing to do with you. They don't feel important in your presence because they feel like you're just talking to somebody else, so they will ignore you. I'm going to show you now a video from, not a video, a TV ad that I'm sure many of you have already seen. And in this ad, you can see that they have defined their target audience. I'm going to put it up here. They've defined their target audience. They've got music, they've got image, they've got imagery, they've got everything going on to capture the imagination of their audience. Now, the music chosen takes us back in time, but enjoy this ad and this video I've got for you, because I think it will really show you what's possible for us in smaller business as well.
Let's hit it.
Oh, sweet. Cheers, bug.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
Wake me up before you go. Leave me hanging on like a yo-yo.
Okay, so let me shut that down. They did a great job. Sorry. V, obviously a big company spending loads of money on marketing and put together a fantastic ad, loads of animation. But what we learn from that is the music, the visual, the vibrant colors. They've taken everything we've talked about into consideration to grab the attention. Now, when I first saw that ad, I was like, oh my God, I love that song. I used to love that song many, many years ago. Many companies take songs that they know their target audience will sit down and sing along to, and then we've got a very emotional response to them because of the memories that are held with that music. So V have done that incredibly well. What can you do in your small business to utilize that sort of all over sensory experience for your clients? This is targeting done with mastery. Now, let me share with you another quote from Entrepreneur Asia Pacific. Very few businesses are one of a kind. Unless you can pinpoint what makes your business unique in a world of homogenous competitors, you cannot target your sales efforts effectively. So the fact is, we all want to be wildly unique and that no one else is like us. And all of us have got incredibly, and most people, most of our clients have got a really competitive space that they are in. And it's very hard to find that real uniqueness. So what you do then is, unless you have got this incredibly wild uniqueness, the way to actually do that is to think about your messaging. So when you've done your targeting, consider your messaging, and then you can really draw people to you, because your competitors will not have done the work that you know to do. So this is what we need to do. First of all, decide on put myself down here. Decide on your unique selling point and create or craft your sales messages, and then use them everywhere. So it's not just about having a USP. I mean, obviously we would love that more than anything, but that's actually quite difficult. So it's all about your messaging then. You are, to the market, very similar to your competitors until you start saying things that they're not saying. So doing the work with your messaging is going to capture the minds of your ideal clients when your competitors are not doing it. Question 4, how does targeting help me differentiate my brand from my competitors? So I want you to do this thinking. I want you to think about, how are you the same as your competitors? How are you different to your competitors? And make sure your sales messages speak directly to these points. So it's actually what you say that is going to grab their attention. And the fact is, the business who spruiks the claim first wins. So you could all be doing a very similar thing, but it comes down to the language you use to describe what you do, and the quality and the power and the influence of that language. That's when you will differentiate yourself over your competitors, rather than feeling like you have to create some wildly unique selling point, because that is phenomenally difficult. But one of the exercises I get our clients to do is to do some competitor research and have a look at the messaging of their competitors. Go to their websites, have a look at what's going on and the message and sales messages they are using. Without fail, 90%, if not higher, people come back to me and say, okay, then there is a huge opportunity here, because the messaging being put out on their social media, on their LinkedIn profile, on their websites, I should say, and in their articles, definitely does not have any strong sales messages. So that just gives you instant motivation to get out there and get yours done as well as you can. All right, let's have a look at the next question. How do I convert high quality leads? Now, this is a cracker of a question, obviously, and what everyone comes to us to learn, because once you've done the work to get the ideal leads to come to you, you've got to be able to convert them. And if you can't convert them, you have done so much brilliant work for nothing. So how do you convert those high quality leads? First of all, you have to do some more work. So let's have a look at this. So just in a nutshell, I suppose, first of all, make sure you've got at least 5 key sales messages that speak directly about your unique selling point to your ideal clients. Tick the box for sales system. Ensure that you have a high quality, masterful approach to selling, so that you be the most influential version of yourself without ever sounding salesy. What a sales system will allow you to do, or a sales framework, is allow you to know exactly what to say every step of the way in a sales conversation, the perfect questions to ask, and the visual models to use to represent your value proposition and remove price as the biggest objection. So having a sales system is obviously one of the biggest tick boxes you need. Then also having collateral, making sure you have sales collateral in the form of brochures, beautifully designed brochures that have your messaging right through it, and your visual models. Making sure you've got slide decks or whatever you might use to present your work to your prospects as well. So just those 2 pieces of collateral really do change the game for you. And without those, you feel like you're scrambling. So everyone Every time a client says to you, oh, I like the sound of that, can you send me some information? You just go, oh, I don't have that. And even just the way you design and create your proposals, all of this collateral needs to be fine-tuned and done before you're asked for it. Because if you're scrambling, as I said, in that sales situation, you move deeply into the no zone and you're not operating in the yes, which is exactly where all the sales are made. And then last but not least, you need to provide proof, and more proof. The higher the risk, the higher the proof. So if clients perceive you, or your ideal clients perceive you to be a little bit risky to buy from, and it just might be, you might be expensive. You might take a little bit of time to work with. You might really harm their reputation if they get it wrong. You may have a massive, very, very big promise, and they're scared that you can't deliver that promise. With all of that, you want to make sure that you have all the proof required to cover off and tick the boxes for any one of their doubts. And this is something that people leave really uncovered in their business or their practice. Case studies, testimonials, just that level of proof, stats, facts and figures. Clients, potential clients, I should say, demand it. They want it, they need it, they have to have it. Even having clients that are prepared to talk to your past clients or current clients who are prepared to vouch for your amazing work, that is an incredible piece of proof that you can provide. So they're the main things, the most critical things you need to convert your ideal clients. So once you've done all the hard work, make sure whatever you do, you don't lose it at the end, and make sure you've got your ability to convert those leads. So thank you for listening today. We've been through our first topic of this new series, the new approach to lead conversion. Our next topic will be releasing in 3 weeks' time in our next Yes Zone live show. So if you have loved what you've seen today, or if you're listening to this as a recording, whatever it might be, then I want you to know that we would love to help you moving forward. So whether you need help with your targeting and working through personally with us exactly who your ideal client is and all the targeting type of work that I've spoken about today, or you would like to craft your sales messages, then we are here to help. And I would love to offer $1 million messages to you. Now, this is a masterclass that we just ran one yesterday. It is something that people love, and no one realizes how much they need messaging until we start to show them how it's done, the examples of who are doing it well, and start looking at what they're currently creating and where the massive gaps are. This is a huge opportunity to you if you get your messaging done right. So $1 Million Messages is a one-day masterclass that we run at SalesSPACE. And the fact is, when you articulate what makes your business unique, your ability to elegantly lead clients to a sale without sounding salesy will be transformed. So the dates for our next $1 Million Messages are Wednesday the 22nd of June and Wednesday the 27th of July. So if you would like to come along and join us, you can register here on this link, and we'll put this link out into our LinkedIn so you can find it easily. $1 Million Messages sells for $14.97, and if you get back to us within the next 24 hours, you can attend for $297. All you need to do is type MDM in the comments now, or email me, rachel@salesspace.com.au. So we would love to have you join us, and thank you so much for listening to our LinkedIn Live show today, the Yes Zone. All sales are made in the yes. And if you don't know how to keep your clients in the yes zone, and you and your clients keep slipping into the no, then business is going to be tough. So join us for our next episode in a couple of weeks, and please do reach out, and we would love to speak to you about what you would like to achieve moving forward. Thank you. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.